a year in office. This administration is looking at has put out a series of events to mark 1 year in office. And yesterday we saw the commissioning of the Aleto Ibubu Eteo Road, known as the Old Bori Road, and comments were made and etc. etc. But before we get into all of those details, 1 year so far into this administration, how pleased, how impressed are you with what the government has been able to put on ground? Do you see good signs coming, or what do you see? That would also mean you put in all the political situation in context and how it's also been handled thus far. A lot of people have different opinions about it. I mean, the Abia State governor was in River State yesterday for that commissioning. He also, aired his views and said certain, said a few things that some people also have been reacting to. But what was important was how the governor of River State was highlighting the situation of the Abia State governor and some of the issues he also has to deal with in his state, being a governor from, the Labour Party, which, you'd say not majority in the state, and trying to manage that at the same time and ensure that he gives governance to Rivers people. Well, this morning, we are going to look into all of that. We're also going to look at what plans the government has put in place, or what are the plans on ground to mark the 1 year in office. And my guest is the Honorable Commissioner for Information, Mr. Joe Johnson. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Rivers people. Good morning, Andrew.
All right, Rivers people, Nigerians, from wherever you are, if you are watching online on Facebook, I would encourage you to respond to the question. How impressed are you with the government so far? 1 year in, 3 years to go. What are your expectations? How impressed are you thus far? You can also send in your opinion to us on WhatsApp 0809-030-6416 0809-030-6416. All right, quickly to my guest, Honorable Commissioner. First I will say congrats on the successful commissioning of the Old Bori Road yesterday. It got a lot of people talking because of some of the comments that came out of there, but we would get into those comments later on. But let's start with what the government is doing and what the plans are for the 1 year in office. Are there things already itemized, projects to be commissioned or flagged off? Because for some people, they're asking, I think you should clarify, the road that was commissioned yesterday, was it started and initiated by this administration or was it initiated by the past administration and then completed by this administration?
The road we commissioned yesterday, the Eteo Ibubu road that was commissioned by His Excellency Dr. Alex Oti, the governor of Abia State, was initiated on the 14th of August. And by 14th of August, you will agree with me that the government of Governor Simonala Fubara had already come in.
Yeah.
Came on the 29th of May. So barely 2 months after he initiated that project, and it was to be delivered in 8 months, and it's been delivered.
All right, and what was fantastic was we had a lot of people calling on the government to look at that LMS section of the East-West Road, which was really bad, especially while we had work on the refinery. Was it that the government considered that, creating this road would be best? Because at the time, not many people have thought in that direction to see that, if we do this road, we might not have to bother about wanting to go fix the East-West Road itself, because it might be the implication of the cost might be something that we're not ready for. Was that the plan behind the construction of that old
in the
road?
Wisdom of His Excellency, he felt that to save lives and, provide for smooth vehicular movements, the best to do was to look through the Old Bori Road, which was the road we commissioned yesterday, to provide an alternative to the road, because the stretch from where we took it from, immediately after the bridge, immediately after Indorama, will take you through the old road, and then you would have bypassed all the bad spots, Monet Junction, all those terrible spots where trucks were falling on top of cars, tankers and all that, were having all that issue. So that was the wisdom that came into His Excellency, and he felt that, we could sacrifice about 6.7 billion That was what we used in doing that route. And it's about 10.89 kilometer, if you like, 11 kilometer road. That was what was commissioned.
So what other projects are outlined to be commissioned?
Today we would have continued, but today we'll have State Executive Council. Tomorrow, which is the 15th, tomorrow, which is the 16th, we are flagging off the Elele Omok Road. Elele Omok Road is that road that we just awarded to Cranborg for 80 billion, for which we had already paid 40%.
Initiated by this administration.
Initiated by this administration. That road is going to traverse the local governments to move from Elele is in Ikwere, Omudioga, Ebeda are all in Emoha local government. Then it will pass through Omok, which is Oba, Ebema, and Doni. That project will be commissioned tomorrow. I'm sure the jingles are already running. I hear Senator Mbata will be handling the commissioning. Then we'll be commissioning Emoha Kalabari Tema Junction. Emoha Kalabari Tema Junction will be commissioned on Friday. On Saturday, we are going to commission the Andoni section of the Ogoni Upubu Nkoro Andoni Unity Road. Yes, that project is a 21 kilometer. We started from the point I'm mentioning now up to the headquarters of
the point I'm mentioning now was initiated by this administration.
Yes. So we're taking it straight. We took it to Ungo. That road is ready and will be commissioned on Saturday. Our weekend will be free. On Monday, we'll be commissioning the Ebeda internal routes. On Tuesday, we'll be doing the commissioning of phase 1 of the Port Harcourt electrical village. And then we'll flag off the phase 2 of it. This project is in Iriebe, not too far from the international spare parts market, which we have flagged off. But this one is ready. Phase 1 is ready for commissioning.
So what's the electrical village? What's the idea behind that?
We have brothers who are on the Okeja axis who sell fans, all the electrical thing, heavy duty transformers and all that. We're trying to create a market for them. We also have flagged off the international spare parts market, which will take care of those of our brothers who are at Ikoku axis. These were promises by the governor during his electioneering that he was going to relocate them. And that space is going to take care of those who are doing that business, yes. Then we shall have the River State Economic Summit. It's an investment summit where we're going to be bringing in investors, both within and outside country. We recall that 2 weeks ago, or 2 Fridays ago specifically, we released the seeding fee of 4 billion to about 3,066 beneficiaries. 100 of them were companies who got loans in the region of about 10 million. Now, we have been able to upskill them. It means that we also need to get blue chip companies from the diaspora and those who are strong in businesses to come and see how we can rejig what we have in Transamadi. So this summit is going to showcase the potentials of River State, what we have in the agro chain, what we have in the gas sector, the oil and gas, tourism, and then other areas, housing, as it were, to be able to bring in those who will come into all the things we're talking about, CNG, conversion, and all the things we're talking about, cars that would want to run on gas. These are the things that we're going to be showcasing, and quite a number of them will have them. By the grace of God, the River State that we're talking about is almost like carrying Nigeria on its shoulders. There's water by one corner, there's a sea, there's a land, and there's quite a lot that we can harness from our God's-given gifts. As
the government looked at the fishing industry, which is something that we're very noted for, even though at the moment the activities of refineries and other companies have been affecting the out of that, but as the government looked at how we can tap into that resource and perhaps go deeper into the fishing industry, which is also a part of agriculture.
What the governor is going to be doing after this round of our 1 year will be to deepen what we have in the agri sector. The agri area is where you You can do a lot of blue economy. There are quite a lot you can do deep down there. And I want to believe strongly that what will happen from what we have in Songhai will be, opening a corridor where quite a lot of agro businesses will thrive. And I believe strongly that once we start the processes of what we had put in place in Songhai farm and all other farm settlements, which we were almost losing to land grabbers, our farms across almost all the eastern senatorial districts in Echie and all the rest of them within that axis. So I want to believe strongly that one will be the major focus, even though the governor had said 6 of his programs will border on health, agri, education, and human capital development. I want to believe strongly also that those ones will help to open the agro sector, because if we have enough food on our table, I'm sure that the agitation for quite a lot of things which had deviled the entire country will be reduced, will be at minimum rates. River Sedin, noted for its agri produce, particularly in the area of the forestry.
Okay. So what are the activities? Are those all the activities after the summit?
Then we're flagging off the Okania Ubogoro road. That road we were just awarded. We're flagging it off on the 24th of May. That road is going to take away the pressure that is on the east-west road, where those who are going to Choba will hang at the point where the flyover is being constructed at the Ubogoro Choba Uzoba NTA axis of it. That work that we're flagging off will help to address that issue. It's actually a short span of what we intend to do. Is a 5-kilometer road which we intend to complete in 5 months. And the contract had already been awarded. We have advanced money from internally generated. That's apparently the second tranche of payment we're taking from our internally generated. We'll also be having the children's on the 27th.
All right, let's pause that. We'll come back and continue from here after the commercial and then touch on some of the issues that have been raised before this time. Stay with us.
Thank you.
Big
right, it's 29 minutes past 8. The conversation continues here on the Morning Crossfire. We're looking at 1 year into the Governor Siminalayi Fubara's administration, and started off yesterday with the commissioning of the old Bori Road. You know it now as the Aleto Ibubu Edeo Road. And the Honorable Commissioner for Information, who is my guest in the studio, has been highlighting other events that have been put up by this administration to mark 1 year in office. And we've asked you the question whether or not you are impressed with what has been going on so far under this administration in the past 1 year, putting into consideration all that has happened in Rivers State in the short possible time. All right, before we get onto the phone lines, I'll just let my guest also conclude. He was trying to tell us about, after the summit, the economic summit, you were saying we're going to have...
we're going to be commissioning the dualized Omo-Kwebema Road. And then we'll have Children's Day activities on the 27th of May, which is the Children's Day, and also the anniversary of our state. River State was created on the 27th of May, 1967. So we will be celebrating our state and also celebrating our children. There will be a state banquet on that evening. And then on the 28th, we'll have a youth affairs, launching of youth development program. We're going to launch an elaborate youth program that will help our youth.
In addition to what we have with REMA?
In addition to what we have with REMA. REMA was, to businessmen, but this one is targeted at the youths to be able to give them some, a heads up. And then I want to believe strongly that it will be a very wonderful time. Then on 29, the governor will give us an account of stewardship, a full account of what he has done from the beginning of this regime to 29th of May, which is exactly 1 year when he came into office.
Does that include how much has been spent,
how much that has
projects,
come,
and
how much that has come, how much has been expended, and what is left? All that will be contained in our scorecard, and I'm sure that it will be circulating on that evening.
Just before you move on, there are many people who have been questioning whether the administration would abandon projects that were initiated by the past administration.
I do not have a list of all. We have not abandoned any. All the projects that
started under the past administration,
that started in the last administration, we are completing all. If there are some who have not already completed, the remaining ones we are still completing.
But all the projects that you're commissioning,
we're not
now,
commissioning any project.
No, I mean the projects commissioned now by this administration are all those started and completed under this administration.
Very correct. We have decided not to commission projects that we didn't start, but that's not to say we have abandoned any. We have made concerted efforts to ensure that all projects hitherto started by the previous regime, even the regimes before. We went into Songhai Farm. It was a project that was abandoned, and we're running with it. So we are completing all the projects that we inherited, all, and also paying up. That's why the governor cried out yesterday that some of the projects, the backlog of payments that follow those projects are being shouldered by this government.
Because I was going to come to this question.
And it's running into billions. Some of the projects were just flagged off, and as they were flagged off, an infinitesimal percentage of fund was provided as takeoff. But we have been able to keep faith with it. We're dealing with them holistically.
But it's sorry to interrupt you there before we go on with other activities. Dwelling on this is, for some people, shocking, because we heard the past administration led by the FCT minister saying, well, we pay up to 80% most of the times, is what he says, and how there's no money being owed. We have settled everything, and we hear this comment. So it came as a shock to some people when they heard the governor saying yesterday debts from projects, some of them that were completed were not paid for completely, and now the contractors are coming to ask for their monies, and we have to find a way to offset all of those bills. And so then at the time, we also are aware that the procurement, the Assembly and the Procurement Process Act was somewhat amended to see that these projects were completed early enough. So question now is, for some people, was this what led to the institution of the panel? Or were there other things that perhaps the administration was seeing that it could not explain that led to the panel being constituted?
let's not hurry into orgasm. The reason being that the governor is the actor, and actors are best interpreters of the actions. The governor has said that he's going to institute a probe panel. Probe panel is an inquiry. There are quite a lot of areas I'm sure that the governor would like to look at. Let's wait for the template. Everything must work according to the rules of the game. So let's not hurry into wanting to know what the reasons would be. But I want to believe strongly that there will be a lot of revelations.
But is there an idea as to all of these debts, for how many projects? Which of the projects were these debts? Are these debts being owed?
I said that
that was mentioned by the governor yesterday.
I said that we will not be able to sit down here and begin to extrapolate which projects and which one. But when the template comes out, the facts of the matter will be placed before all of us, and we'll have an opportunity of making an opinion. But for now, let's leave it at the stage where it is. The governor has said he's going to institute an inquiry. And when that inquiry comes, we will see what. If it's in the area of road, if it's in the area of other infrastructure, if it's in the area of agric, if it's in the area of education, it may be health. It could even be in the area of my own ministry, Ministry of Information, which also oversees the Nigerian Tide, Radio Rivers, and the other agencies that are under my ministry. So let's wait. It will come. I'm sure it will come well. Particularly that the governor was at Accountant General. At least, it's more difficult to... It's a lot easier for somebody who was around when something was hidden to just bring it from where it was hidden than for you and I, who are probably having benefits of the hindsight, to be able to truly put a finger on where anything is. So he knows where it is. He's been around. He knows when everything happened, and he'll be able to say, look, this is the picture. And I'm sure that his position will be something to go home with. Yeah.
So on the 27th, you say, was it 27th?
27th, we are going to have a banquet.
River State anniversary.
We're going to celebrate ourselves, a state that has been there for, this will be like 57 years if my mathematics serves me right. So after that, we're going to have the youth affairs. That's the one I had mentioned, which is for the youth. Then the account of stewardship is on 29th. On the 30th, we'll be flagging off the Trans-Calabari Road. It will come from the Rumolumeni axis through the Degema. I mean, it's even as costly. It's going to be as costly as almost the ring road because of the number of bridges you're going to find. If you find a bridge, it's almost like the cost of 10. We're going to have about, if you say 10 flyovers, to be able to know what the third mainland bridge is going to look like. That's what you're going to find running through that stretch. And we don't intend to borrow money for that project. I've heard it, and I believe strongly that the governor means his words. Then we shall have the chieftaincy affairs. We're going to present certificates of recognition, and then we'll have a praise night. Then we'll end up with a Rivers International Marathon on Saturday, June 1. And after that, we'll do our Thanksgiving.
Okay, well said. It's quite a lot. Let's open the phone lines first and take a few calls and messages before we come to some more questions. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. All of these are numbers you can call to join us on the conversation this morning. I'm sure you have questions to ask, and you have answers to give to the question we asked. How satisfied are you? Are you impressed with what you've seen so far, 1 year into the 4-year term of this current administration? Let us know what you think. The WhatsApp number is 0809-030-6416. Again, 0809-030-6416. So do to also send in your WhatsApp messages and your response to the question and questions that you want to direct to my guest. You can send all of them in now. Let's see this one on WhatsApp. I'm impressed with the 1 year term in office, the 1 year into this administration. But one thing I want to draw the attention of the government to is the issue of youth employment. The last administration neglected the youths of River State for 8 good solid years. The governor should lift an embargo for employment for youths. Thank God Ability said that one. This person says, good morning. What's your name? Ufi Cairo Wada from Anthony. He said, please help me ask the commissioner about the status of the 10,000 recruitment for youths in Rivers State who are waiting for employment letters. As far as I'm concerned, concluding this employment process will significantly boost the governor's support. This one says, can the government please focus on the waterside area of NT Apara Link Road? The drainage is linked to our houses are flooded and we are just approaching the rainy season. Yes, this is another very important area. The Apara Link Road area, if you go through Mercyland, you see the stretch of that road is a disaster. And thank God this person just brought it up now. Perhaps we used to have the potholes and emergency under the past administration. I can't remember what they were called again, but then they had to deal with potholes and all of these roads that needed emergencies to do something on those roads. And this Apara Link Road is one of them. Jesus Avenue area, if you come to Mercyland, you pass the Winners Church area, all of those, it's something else. It is really something else. So if that can be looked into and addressed, because we're already in the rainy season and we have predictions for the flooding, and flash floods in those areas are already a big problem. This one says the government should focus on the youths and look into employment of 10,000 civil servants into the commission. That's a message, did not include your name. Kinsley from Rumudara, quickly, let's hear you. Good morning, Kinsley.
Yeah, good morning. I hear me, Andrew.
All right, go on.
And good morning to the Honorable Commissioner.
Good morning.
Over there. I greet you.
I salute you, my brother.
Yes, my contribution to what you're saying this morning is this. Can you hear me, sir?
I'm hearing you.
Yeah.
Okay, my contribution is this. Please, I would like the Honorable Commissioner to inform the governor about this thing. I know quite well that it's the previous administration that made mention of the 10,000. I know quite well some people have been sending those messages and all that. There are 10,000 civil service job. I know this administration said so as well. So I would like the governor, since he is friendly to the youth, and he has made mention of it as well. So let it not look at his previous administration or whatever. Let it not be. It's almost 1 year now in office. So possibly if you can be able to look into that, because it will still help the youth of the state. And it's still River State youth that apply for those employments and all that. So, and if possibly it's been delayed and all that, it will look as if that is not, the whole thing is not, because I know quite well they have given employment based on the health sector, but that one can be also helped more of the youth that applied for that same employment. So if he can be able to look in that aspect, it will still give him kudos to his government. And I want to thank what is doing the commissioning of the road yesterday and all that. So right, and I will urge him, if possibly, that he should look at the issue that is going on in the River State. If
right, thank you very much, Kinsley.
He can use the 1 year anniversary to make peace, to bring peace in the state. This our state is giving I mean, like, once you open the news, you see River State on the news every day and every day. If there is going to be a peace in River State, it's going to be a good thing and good news.
Thank you very much, Kinsley. Let's go over to George now in Buguma. George, good morning.
Yes, Andrew, good morning. Let me greet the Honorable Commissioner for Information.
I salute you, sir. Thank you, sir.
See, yes, Andrew, my heart is full of joy. I am very happy. In fact, my head is swelling now with joy. Andrew, I cannot remember the last time I have a transparency of governance in this manner. Andrew, cast your memories back. When was the last time in the previous government you have Commissioner of Information coming to put the people abreast on daily governance information? I cannot remember. In fact, what we heard was that commissioners were barred from coming to studios to enlighten the public. My brother, no wonder it looks as if there is a heavy bomb blast in the kingdom of Satan. That the Satan is fighting tooth and nail to make sure.
George, please, let's leave Satan out of this. Let's leave Satan out of this. Thank you. There's no Satan involved in this.
Let me tell you, Andrew, let me tell you one thing. If you said that God used you to enthrone somebody.
George, this is
Sometimes
not what the
God
conversation
will
is
not
about. Thank you. We have to
use
move
that
on to
person
another
to bless.
caller. It's a simple question that was asked, and we've been following the conversation. You know what it is. So if you have questions you want to ask my guest, you direct the questions. If you have contributions you want to make, or you want to respond to the question we asked about whether you are satisfied thus far with the performance of the governor in under 1 year, then let us know. Let's go straight to that one. Lugard in Echie, good morning.
Yeah, Andrew. Greetings from you to you.
Go ahead.
Man. I greet your yes. The Honorable Commissioner.
I salute you.
Sir.
Morning.
Yes, one thing I like in the commissioner is that each time you invite him, he always honor invitation to tell Rivers people what and what. I want to thank you, sir.
God bless you. I hope you bring me plantain from Echie.
For me, I will say that the 1 year in office of our governor, Fubara, for me, it's not to write him about. Because all those projects we see him commissioning, I discovered that 80% of it has been paid by the former governor of Rivers State. I've never spoken of governor of Rivers State, but I carefully watched those projects, and I discovered that, yes, on the issue of the commission of road in LMA yesterday, the Honorable Commissioner, that is the road you used to pass to your own community. Are you telling me that project that was commissioned yesterday is worth it? That you will go to the old one with a new one and patch some places? You call somebody, the governor of Abia State, to come and commission. Meanwhile, that young man, Abia State governor, is flagging up new Tiaroba roads, executing new roads. And you said that a governor will come and commission River State. For me, it's not a good one.
All right, Lugard, thank you very much. Livinus is in Echie. Good morning, Livinus.
Good morning, Andrew and the Honorable Commissioner.
Good morning.
Commissioner, please tell His Excellency, then you made mention of agriculture. Tell His Excellency then to revamp the school to land farm at Ebekemuba in Echie. This farm project was established by the former military administrator of the state, Police Commissioner Fidelis Oyakilome, and it could employ thousands of the youth in Echie. Please do that for Echie people.
Okay.
All right, Jude from Amuma. Good morning.
Yeah, you asked a question whether or not I'm satisfied with the much the governor has done. The answer is yes. The much he has done, I am very much satisfied. But let me suggest that he should remain focused and don't bow to the two key areas of war, which is intimidation and propaganda. He should not bow to any of them. He should remain focused. What is happening in Rivers State is between the one who is oppressing us and the people, and has nothing to do with the governor. The Rivers people are fighting oppression and intimidation. Now, the area he has to look into again is spreading his projects across the 23 local government areas of the state. He should not concentrate them in one area like we had the past 8 years. In a moment, the chair, I wouldn't say nothing is going on for now, but he should spread his projects across the 23 local government and leave the rest, leave the fight for us.
All right,
with
Jude.
The Rivers people.
Thank you. Gift from Yenegua. Thank you, Jude. Let's get on to Gift. Good morning.
Andrew, my brother, good morning.
All right, quickly, Gift.
And good morning to the Honorable Commissioner.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, my brother.
Yeah, thank you. With all due respect, this back and forth about past governance and the present one argument, I don't get it. What was the mantra, Mr. Commissioner, in the studio? The mantra was consolidation continuity. This governor was not brought by an opposition party. He came through the reins of Ezebonyi Sowike, and we all supported. But because of quarrel within the family, now people are sounding as if it is Labour Party or NPP candidate that later turned a governor of the state. I don't get it. Frankly speaking, as a person, up to this moment, I've been asking myself, and look at how the governor went so low. Use the word Fawanyan should not open. If I use that word on air, they will caution me.
Right, that's why you shouldn't have used it on air. The governor did not use the word on radio. I don't think he did. And you didn't hear it on radio, so you shouldn't have mentioned that. So just mind the language.
I understand where I'm coming from so that you will see reason with me. For him to use that word, what is the meaning of that when it is the consolidation continuity mantra? And we supported everything. And we will always tell you that contractors trust me. Without paying a dime, they will take up a particular project. If he not use word that everything is true with him, no time we can use that type of word. We should go back to the records. That word about we are surprised and all the rest is fallacy. Thank you.
All right, Gift, thank you very much. We'll see if we have enough time to take one more call. In the meantime, okay, let's look at what we have on Facebook and touch on some of the messages. I want to ask the Commissioner for Information, when last did he pass the Igbo Rumo Krishi Road? Olatunji says, good morning. Thank God for success of this government so far. Please, I'd like the governor to look into the issue of electricity. Nene Joyce Nwokoma says, will the current political tussle in the state, will the Ring Road project be achievable as the work is slowing down daily? This one says, government and governance is all about security of life, citizens, and infrastructure. Justice Amadi saying that one on Facebook. Because we don't have a lot of time, let's just hear Mazi from GRA, and then we come back to my guests to wrap up. Hello, Mazi. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. We are talking about the development of Rivers State. We all need to contribute. I will suggest the commissioner to tell the government know that they should expand this ring road. People are already putting back where they mark. Secondly, the new road between Elios and Rubonko, where you have this market square, there's a lot of hold up there. If they can put flyover. Thirdly, he should do a project. There's this monorail project. And we engage with Greater Port Harcourt to do proper development in Rivers State. I think that will help him. And Greater Port Harcourt, this monorail, new flyover, even at the Greater. What is I need flyover from those things? That should be his new project. And look at the ring road. People are really bidding back. They're not even shifting after paying them. They're bidding back. They should go for inspection. So that when they want to be a person, they should properly get to Lagos. So we now have a big city.
All
right. Not even small road again. I think it's a ring road. Those things are too small. They should go and to investigate. That's the we are paid. I don't know why they should be bidding back.
All right, thank you very much, Mazi. So you're saying that the road they're not building, it's not being constructed according to the plan. Unfortunately, the media did not get to see the plan and the design for that road. We hope that we'll have the opportunity to see it now, to know what the design is, what it looked like, and what it should have contained. Under the past Commissioner for Works, efforts were made to try and see if we could get that design. To look at it, or even get him to explain what the design was. Hopefully now we would get that opportunity. This one says, what is happening to Ekago, to Adada Road in Abua Odua local government area? Alfred Datubo. All right, you heard most of the callers. So what's your response?
Well, let me even say that we are not commissioning any project that was started by the previous government. If anything, we inherited about 21 roads and completed 10 of what was started in the past regime. We're not commissioning any of them. And I'm sure that I gave a compendium of what we'll be doing day by day. The ones we are flagging off, we are flagging off. The ones we are commissioning, I've put a finger on the actual date we are awarded. Such that anybody who thinks that what the governor of Abia State came to do yesterday was a fluke may not have an in-depth understanding of what the road was. Yesterday, at the commissioning site, we displayed the status of the road as at the time we came into that project and what it is now. And thank God that my brother Lugaman agrees that I apply that route. And I know the difficulties those of us from the river southeast go through trying to assess get up to Bori, which once you get up to Bori, you can be rest assured that you've been able to pass through the hurdles. So to assume that they just patched and did this shows that he's not seized of the information that was available. That road is an 11-kilometer road, and we did it from start to finish, and it was done within a record time.
All right. I think we'll have to draw the curtain here because we're already out of time. Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to commercial.
Go for gold, Terra Gold Q, the